adofo ne etiefo amohwe me da mu nyina amase ngidi se obadaroma ho ye se de meso me ho ye ade achi bem de na de bia ne emu nsensem nsefofo na de bia edi akoniaba nsema emu do etiefo ebentuma gibe ne nkuti nsema eden agi ne ho mina emra.
Elections Committee. So far, we've been getting overwhelming positive feedback across the length and breadth of the country for the work that they are doing. Though there are few isolated challenges in some constituencies, which we know in the coming days, the various police station elections committee and the conference executive committees and the respective regional executive will be able to address these issues. And I've seen videos going around showing how people are participating in the polling station elections, and it gives me so much hope. It becomes so much refreshing that indeed the love is coming back and people are poised to send the party. And I commend them for the enthusiasm and the energy that they are exhibiting in the polling station elections. And we pray that we'll be able to carry this through to the electoral area elections, the constituency elections, regional and national elections. So kudos to our party members, but please let's conduct this exercise in a free, fair and transparent manner, so that at the end of the day, it is the new patriotic party that wins. And to learn lessons from the previous polling station elections, whereby we suffered our party because people felt that they were prevented from taking part in this exercise. This is a very important opportunity for us to give every member of our party the chance to take part in this process. So kudos, and I wish all of us the best of luck in the coming days as we go through the polling station elections. Dear patrons, as we all recall, after the 2024 elections, the National Council, which is the second high decision-making body of our party, formed a 2024 Elections Review Committee, which was chaired by Reverend Right Honorable Professor Mike Ewan. As part of the term of reference of the committee, they went to conduct a comprehensive review of the party's activities across the pre-election, election, and post-election phases. Again, to identify and analyze the root causes underlying the party's performance in the 2024 election, and thirdly, to develop a strategic roadmap to reposition and rebuild the party for a decisive victory in the 2028 election. The committee, guided by the principles to facilitate the restructuring of the new patriotic party into a modern, all-embracing, participatory, and scientifically driven political organization, address evolutionary issues and challenges that has to do with governance and national development. The committee, in so doing, identified 3 issues which culminated in our rules. 1, party issues. 2, government-related issues, and 3, campaign issues. After the committee has submitted their report, findings and recommendations to the National Council, it meant that we needed to go to the surgical room to analyze the report, review it, and to implement it to the fullest. And this led to what we refer to as the reorganization structure or activities of the party. In terms of the party issues, we all know that the New Patriotic Party has a tradition which came out from the Dampa Buzia Dondo tradition, which forms the historical and ideological bedrock of the New Patriotic Party, and rooted in the principles of liberal democracy, opportunity for individuals, decentralization, and respect for the rule of law. As a party, framed as a counterweight to authoritarianism and unbridled state control, reflecting on the 2024 law, therefore, mandated evaluating how well the party adhered to these principles and the need to identify where significantly the party departed from such set principles. as a party known historically to have intellectual appeal, forward-thinking philosophy that attracted the middle class, businessmen and women, youth, in so doing many elections in various universities and other tertiary institutions. The question is how come we lost all these votes? At the end of the day, the party lost in 2024 elections did not just happen one day. It happened because over the years as a political party, we departed from our ideologies and tradition. And our loss in 2024 was a testimony and summation of years of departure from our DNA. That is who we are and what we stood for as a political party. The first thing the party did to address these issues of bringing back our ideology and philosophy was the establishment of what we refer to as the Patriotic Institute, which is to provide training for members and elected officers and also to carry out research to inform all recent decisions that the party will undertake. By so doing, we will always know who we are, where we have come from, where we have headed to, and how to get there. It is not strange that people join the new Patriotic Party, and when they do not get what they want, in the shortest time they tend to leave. The Patriotic Institute will help us to emulate the selflessness of the party's founders ideology, whereby we have people such as S.D. Domi, who was the leader of the Northern People's Party with their seat in Parliament, to give opportunity to Dr. P.A. Buzia, who had only one seat to lead the opposition to Parliament. Again, for us to position ourselves and to win the elections in 2028, the new Patriotic Party needs to go back to our root, to the root whereby people associated the NPP for having appealed to various classes in the society, whereby people were so proud to say that members of the new Patriotic Party because we had the name. And this is what we have been doing since 2025 to bring back the love to the new Patriotic Party. And this necessitated in us doing constitutional amendment in July 2025. The essence of the constitutional amendment that took place in Lagos, one, was for the party to expand our electoral college, and the essence of expanding our electoral college was to address the issue of apathy which we suffered in 2024 elections. The reason being that there were several people who felt that after having served the party in various capacities as constituency officers, as former members of parliament, as parliamentary candidates, as MMDCs, they do not have a voting right. This singular act, whereby we were given the opportunity to take part in our presidential primaries, re-energized the base of our party, and now people feel that they are part of our party electoral process. And so those who did that will not take part in the 2024 election have a reason to take part in the 2028 elections because the party has recognized it. One key feature in our amendment that we did as a political party was to expand our electoral college at the polling station, the polling station officers from 5 to 7, with the introduction of the electoral affairs officers and communication officers. And for the first time, we are electing our communication officers. All these are part of the party's new organizational structure and to make sure that we position ourselves for victory in 2028. A key feature in the amendment also saw in the establishment of the Communications Committee of the National Council. This is something that the party had never had. In our attempt to address issues of communication gap, whereby people know that when it comes to record, the new Patriotic Party is on much in our political landscape, that the issue has always been the delivery and how to communicate our achievement. With the formation of the Communications Committee, the party is making that attempt to address the historical issue and challenges that our forefathers in the UGCC era, the PFP era, in the UP era, in the NPP era suffered, whereby we are unable to counter and defend the propaganda from our political opponents. The establishment of the Communications Committee, it means that we have people who will sit back, analyze our communication structure, come up with proactive structures and policies that will help us to define in terms of our communication space what we need to do as a political party. And we are very sure that going forward, people will see a different communication strategy from the New Patriotic Party, whereby it is done in a scripted manner for all of us to follow, so that we sing the same song and be able to stand up to the test of time when it comes to communication. Again, one factor in the amendment that we did as a political party to make sure that we address all the internal issues in the establishment of what we refer to as the strategic committee. And the essence of the party's strategic committee is to have a group of think tanks who will think for the party in the short term, medium term, and long term, whereby it will not be that we win elections and as a party we forget that we have another elections coming up. In the establishment of the party strategic committee, all these issues will be addressed, so that as a political party, we know that we are guided by a blueprint of what we have to do in the short, medium, and long term. Again, the party has also created what we refer to as the Electoral Affairs Committee. And it's very important that as a political party, we have an Electoral Affairs Committee to look at our electoral functions, to look at historical electoral performance of our political party, and also future elections, and what we need to do in even going for elections, the strategies that we need to put in place in selecting candidates for various positions, parliamentary candidates, even presidential candidates, what we need to do going forward in the future. All these are part of the structures that the party has put in place, and the lessons that we have learned from the 2024 elections. Dear patrons, preparations for 2028 elections has begun, and we are going to a context whereby a government is being in office for 4 years. In order for us to make history or see the government which has been in government for 4 years, it means we need to do things differently. And this saw to us, for the first time, electing our presidential candidate even before party general elections. And I quite remember when National Council met to take that decision, it was then very unpopular for many people in our party, and many people chastised us, and many people insulted us, criticized us. But at the end of the day, after we stood firm and decided to hold the presidential primaries first, people are now beginning to realize, and I even realize that indeed the decision that the party took was a good decision. And to have a presidential candidate who has enough time to put in place, together with the steering committee, national executive committee, and national council, and the sounding and watertight committees that will work hand in hand to make sure that we deliver in 2028 elections. Colleagues, the essence of this engagement is to let you know that as a political party, we are working seriously to make sure that we win the elections in 2028. Last week, Thursday, the National Executive Committee and subsequently the National Council met, and in line with the party's constitution, with reference to Articles 10.6.2, formed the various standing committees of the party. In reference to Article 10.2.6, the National Council, as stated, shall have the following committees: Finance Committee, Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee, Organizations Committee, Research Committee, National Disciplinary Committee, Vetting Committee, Electoral Affairs Committee, Communications Committee, Political Strategy, and Policy Committee. all these committees are committees of the National Council. I've heard some comments by some members of our party as to why these committees were constituted and why we need to meet. Colleagues, you all agree with me that after the party has done amendment to our constitution, new committees were created, and therefore it is the duty of the National Council to make sure that we populate these committees.